how do you pick the right niche for your platform? Like, do you chase the money, focus on an area of interest, or share what you already know? Well, today I'll share a private coaching session helping someone figure that out, and you get to listen in. Welcome to the Affiliate Guy podcast. If you want to grow your income, serve your tribe, and enjoy all the benefits of affiliate marketing and having your own affiliates, you're in the right place. Thanks for joining me today. Let's get started. So I just got back from this epic event down in Delray Beach, Florida, the Coalition to Save Internet Business. And as you've heard on some previous episodes, I was down there with Rich Schefren and Jeff Walker and Russell Brunson, Dean Graziosi, Todd Brown, Don Crowther, Katrina Ruth, Sabrina Truscott, Ryan Levesque, Sonia Riccati, like some of my, some people that I've looked up to for years and some friends of mine, and made some new friends as well. And it was an amazing event. I'm going to share some stuff from that soon. But in the meantime, check out Facebook and you'll see some of the pics and some of the lessons that I took away from that. But I'm going to share those lessons here soon. But I thought that this was an interesting lesson. It's from something that I did a few weeks ago. I got this voicemail from a guy named Kai Kauai. That is his real name. He left a voicemail on asktheaffiliateguy.com, which you should go there if you have a question. I say voicemail. It's actually a thing called SpeakPipe, but you can submit your question in writing or you can record an audio. And he asked, how do you pick a niche? So I'm going to play that recording for you, his question real quick. And then we'll come back and tell you a little bit more about what we did, and then we'll cut to that coaching session.
Hey, Matt. My name is Kai Kauai, and I recently found your podcast and started listening and saw or heard that you gave advice to people that were looking into affiliate marketing. So I wanted to ask if you had a take or an opinion on a new person getting into affiliate marketing, and would you advise them against starting in the make money online niche? Would you give them, what kind of advice, I guess, would you lend them in that regard? Do you steer them towards it, away from it? What are some of your thoughts on that? So hopefully you get this and you're having a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
So this is such a common question that I decided to coach him. I didn't just respond to him. I didn't just, I could have easily just typed like a few sentences in an email and he probably would have been happy. But I decided to spend about a half hour with him, I think about 25 minutes or so, coaching him. And I recorded it for you. I did that because I know this is a very common question and I want you to get value out of this. Now, before we cut to that coaching session with Kai, I did just want to share today's listener shout out. I haven't shared one the last few episodes just because they've been a little bit different, but I wanted to share this shout out real quick to Sylvine67 all the way from Ireland, who says, when it comes to affiliate marketing, I've learned loads and earned more than I thought possible thanks to, wow, that's cool. I never read these before I go on. So earn more than I thought was possible thanks to Matt. Wow. He's one of the premier thought leaders in this area. It's great to see he's getting his message out there. That is so freaking cool. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. That's just cool. Anyway, so if you haven't left a rating and review, please do on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify, wherever you listen to this. Give us a shout out and we'll give you a shout out as well. Make sure when you do, unlike Sylvine67, have no idea who that is, make sure you put your real name and your domain name. And I'll mention that on the air. A lot of you are smart. Your iTunes username is like your domain name. So I'm going to do it anyway, but make sure you do, and I'll give you a shout out as well. Also want to let you know, we have something really exciting coming up. We haven't done this in almost 14 months. Been more than a year since we did our last list launch challenge. This is like one of our big things, but it's been a while. We're doing another list launch challenge. I will share details coming up on an upcoming episode, but it is coming up really, really soon. So be on the lookout for emails and Facebook posts and all that fun stuff announcing the List Launch Challenge. This is going to be an epic event coming up in March. We're going to help you get your first 100, 1,000, or 10,000 subscribers. Wherever you're at, we're going to help you grow your email list in only 7 days. So if you have 0, we're going to help you get 100. If you have 100, we're going to help you get to 1,000. If you have 1,000, we're going to hopefully help you get to 10,000. It's going to happen fast. Now, just to be clear, I'm not promising you're going to go from 1,000 to 10,000 in just 7 days, but we're going to show you how to do it fast. So it's going to be an amazing event, like a big old sprint, helping you to grow your email list. So with that, be on the lookout for that, and let's cut to that coaching session with Kai Kawai. Yes, that is his real name. Hey everyone, so I'm here with the guy who has probably one of the coolest names in the internet marketing business, I guess you could say. I just love this name. I thought it was like a pseudonym or like a wrestler, name, like The Rock or something. But his name is actually Kai Kawai, which is just so cool. I want you guys to check him out. And Kai, you had a question today that I just felt like other people would want to know the answer to. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us real quick what your question is, and then we'll talk a little bit more about who you are and what you do here in just a moment.
Okay. Well, so I wanted to know, because I've listened to your podcast several times and listened to a bunch of different episodes and didn't hear this, and maybe you did it a while back, but I wanted to know if you were coaching a new person through starting affiliate marketing, would you suggest that they start in the make money online niche or not? Is that a bad idea?
So I'll tell you what I would say, kind of generic advice, and then we'll talk specifically about that question, Kai. I mean, my generic advice anytime somebody asks me about should I be in this niche, this niche, this niche is, that the answer is it's not as much about what the upside for the money is or about a specific niche. When I got into, when I started my first blog, if you go back and look, you can actually see go back 4.5, 5 years, you'll see I wrote a lot more about leadership and personal development. And the reason was I thought that those were the niches where the money was. I thought that's a big niche, personal development. Tony Robbins, I'm going to be the next Tony Robbins, right? Spoiler alert, I didn't become the next Tony Robbins. And, so I thought that's where the money was. So that's the niche that I was in. I found that I just didn't have a passion for that. My passion was helping people to make their first dollar online. And so I needed to get into doing what my passion was. And so some rules of thumb, just generally speaking, with regard to, picking a niche, whether it be make money online, whether it be gardening, golf, whatever it might be. Couple of exercises I give our coaching clients. The first one is quick exercise. Set a timer for about 20 minutes. And if you are thinking of, say, niche 1, niche 2, and niche 3, and you're not sure which one, I did this with a guy a couple weeks ago, actually. It was pretty fascinating. He was like, no, I really think it's C. I really think it's niche C, followed by, I think it was, B and A, And I gave him this exercise, and it turned out it was A by a landslide. I said, set a timer for 20 minutes. I just want you to write down blog post titles. They could be video titles. They could be, podcast titles. Doesn't matter. Blog post titles. And just write them as fast as you can. Don't think about making them perfect. They don't have to follow the perfect blog post title template. You're not thinking about SEO, search engine optimization. You just how to do this, 7 ways to boom, and just write down as many blog post titles as you can in 20 minutes. And when he did it, it was something like 87 titles for A, about half that for C, and 15 or 20 for B. And so it was clear to him that A was his niche. He had a 1.5 years content like that. Now, some of those blog posts will never happen. They turned out they're not, not good. But it gives you kind of an idea. The second one is, the second way is just to think in terms of what am I excited to learn about? What am I excited to tell others about? So it's what is that thing that when you hear it or you have an idea, you have a compulsion to share it with other people? Okay. For me, there's two things, history. Anybody who knows me and followed me long enough knows I'm a history buff. And so I'm as likely to like connect Thomas Jefferson and 6th century BC Chinese dynasties to affiliate marketing as I am like anything that anybody's doing today, because I love history. I choose not to monetize that. That's not my thing. But the other thing is marketing, and is particularly affiliate marketing. And I just I have a compulsion to just share, like when we try something with our stuff, to share it with just my friends, like let alone my audience, let alone to go do a Facebook Live or a blog. And my brain just thinks that way. There's a Facebook Live we're going to do in 9 days that, as of we're recording this, that is specifically about something that came in the mail to me today. And the way my brain works, and this is how I know I'm supposed to do what I'm doing, is as soon as I got this package and opened it and saw it, I was like, boom, that's a Facebook Live. And so whatever that niche is where you just think like that, that's the way. The third thing that I would say, kind of, again, these are all generic, and then we can talk about yours specifically, is, think through like the questions like, what are people always asking you for help with? Are they always asking you for help with, organizing? I was trying to think of what that word was. Are people like, they just know you're organized, and so maybe that's your niche, not make money online. Or are they always asking you for help with how to monetize their blog? That would be a good sign. The other thing is like, what do people tell you? So when you like for me, I share history and I share marketing when I just share stuff with people. Most people understand that history is my thing. It's my kind of hobby, and I love it. And they're okay with hearing stuff. They're not as interested in hearing me talk about history. I'm not as great of a storyteller of history as I am teaching people how to make money online. So that was a clear indicator, like the interest level that people were showing me. When I share history stuff, a lot of their reaction is, oh, interesting. No follow-up questions, right? Or that's cool. But when I share a marketing tip, they're like, oh my, okay, wait, you said what? And then, okay, then wait, but what if we did this? And then like next thing you know, we're whiteboarding together. That's a pretty good sign. And so ultimately it really just comes down to, it's like, what is it that it should be? Something that wakes you up in the morning, something that keeps you up at night in a good way, something that's easy for you. And I don't mean like, oh, business is easy. I mean, if you can write down 87, blog post topics in 20 minutes, I did this with affiliate marketing. I literally filled an entire notebook, 200-300 pages worth of just ideas for blog posts, so that when I officially moved into this niche about 4 or 5 years ago, I already had 2.5 years worth of content like that. I didn't even have to think about it. And so it should be something like that. And so that's kind of my generic advice that I would give to you and to anyone. And then, what are you thinking right now in terms of where you would be? What kind of clarity did that give you?
Well, no. So that was really good information. Because one of the questions, and you already covered it, but I was going to ask, did you do that 20 minutes for each niche?
Yes. Or
you did it just 20 minutes, mind dump, get it out on paper and see where it falls?
Yeah. If you're not sure what niche you're in, that really is, it's just, set it for 20 minutes, write down, go take a 20-minute break, go for a walk, then do it again. Don't do it like back to back to back, because inevitably you start to fatigue and your third one is going to be the weakest, unless it turns out that it's, the one that you should be in that niche. But I do this periodically as well. I did years ago when I got into this niche. We actually had to spend about a week in a hospital with our son. And one of the things I did to just pass the time was sit there and just write down blog post ideas and video ideas and promotional ideas. And sometimes they just come to us, like this package that I got in the mail today. Boom, there's a Facebook Live. It just, it hit me. Sometimes, this is going to become content. Clearly, if you're watching or listening to this, it became content. And we can do that, and that's a great way to create content. But sometimes we just have to dump it out and write out, like, and it's just, it's like Seth Godin says, the best way to come up with a lot of good ideas is to come up with a lot of crappy ideas. And I'll go back and look at those notebooks, and only half the stuff in there ever became content. half of it, I went back, 6 months later, I was like, what? Why would I do like, nobody's going to read that. That's a terrible idea. But yeah, so I regularly do that. I'll do about a little 20, 30-minute brain dump. But this one is it's an exercise where typically if you have 2 niches or 3 niches, most of the people we coach find that their example is just like the guy I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, where it's like one of them just stands out like far and away. Every now and again, you'll have somebody who maybe it's down to 2, and niche one, they have 48 ideas, and the other they have 44. And at that point, this is not the deciding factor. We have to go into some of the other deciding factors. But I would say 9 out of 10 times, that's the big sign, because the ability to come up with blog posts, titles like this, is that intersection between knowledge and passion. If you don't have the knowledge but you have the passion, you're going, okay, no. What? No, I don't really know enough. No, wait. Oh, man, I have to go read an entire book to be able to do that one blog post. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the experience. Right. If you have the knowledge but not the passion, like for instance, I have a crap ton of knowledge about how to save money on your taxes, how to run a business, how to incorporate your business. I've done all these things, and I have a massive amount of knowledge. And in fact, I even help people do some of that stuff because they're my friends. I have no passion for it. And so for me, my reaction, like if I had to make a list of things about like how to do business accounting, legal business stuff, I'd be going, no, I don't want to do that. Gosh, that's boring. I don't have the passion for it. So it's when they just come out and you're like, boom, 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 that's a pretty good sign that you have both.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Why the make money online niche? What led you?
Well, so that's kind of how I got online. I was looking to make a little bit of money on the side, had a regular full-time job. And this was when I was younger. This is years ago. And then I started having fun with HTML and building sites. Yeah, I'm old. So
I remember those days. What did you use Dreamweaver by chance?
Right. Yeah. And so I did some pages that way. Found it I felt like doing affiliate marketing back in like 97 and 98 were a lot easier than they are today.
Everything was, yeah.
Yeah, because there wasn't as much competition. It just seemed like, and so it served its purpose. I made a couple $200-300 a month extra, and it was good, and it supplemented what I needed to do. And at the time, we had a young family, and it was good. But I stayed on the emailing list for a lot of those guys, and periodically I still get those. And I was in the Warrior Forum and all of that, and so I jumped back in. I took a couple of years off because my offline career just took off, and did some fun stuff there. And but I still have a passion to do something on the side. I just want, and after I sent you the question, after I was listened to several of your episodes on your podcast. Anybody listen to this for the first time, by the way, awesome. Like I probably listened to it too much, because there was one podcast episode where you're like, hey, look, if you've done this and you're listening to me, but you haven't taken action on the stuff we've coached you on, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. Go do what we told you to do. Yeah. And so that's when I knew, I better go do something. So I set up a website, and I put a couple of review articles on it. But after thinking about it, I didn't do the mind dump, which I'm going to do. I'm going to find a quiet place and do that. That's a great way to come up and solidify what I want to do. But I want to do something that helps people that I'm passionate about. And so this is just validation of that. Because when all the shiny objects out there that promise to get you, page 1 Google rankings or get you noticed, SEO tricks, that kind of a thing. Yeah. I don't really have any content out there. And so I had to be honest with myself. I'm glad that there's a resource like your show out there. that made me think differently than I had in the past. And so I think I answered the question in my own head before we got on here, but I think that's secondary to doing something out there that you're proud of and that you want to share with other people, and that will. It almost sounds, I hear a lot of people say that, right? I want to help people. I want to do this, but there's few people, like if you go on to like Stitcher and you look for podcasts on affiliate marketing, you're going to see a bunch of them, but there's people that went out there and did like 5 or 6 months and then they were done. And there's you and maybe one other guy that has content for a couple of years. And so that right away I was like, okay, I got to listen to that guy, because it's not fly by night.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's kind of interesting in our industry that there are a lot of people who, you look at their last episode and it was like 2016. I'm like, well, cool. Better for me. So, well, awesome. I'll give you one last tip, Kai, and that is, as you do the dump and you decide, okay, whatever niche that you go into, just know that the make money online space, the gardening space, the fitness space, the weight loss space, the targeting business owners space, like all this space, none of them are more competitive than the others in relative terms. And what I mean in relative terms is it's no harder or easier to get 1% of the pie in any of the niches. It's no harder or easier to make 6 figures or 7 figures in any of those niches. It really isn't. If you actually study the data, there are pies that are bigger and pies that are smaller, and there are pies where the average product sells for $30, and then there are pies where the average product sells for $75 and $7,000, and it's kind of like what's the more wealthy company? What is it? Yum Brands that owns Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, or Tesla. Tesla's average product sells for about $50,000 or $60,000. Yum Brands' average product sells for like $1.50. Right. So which one is easier to make say $100 billion in? I don't know. But it's not like there's no better business model. And so I will say that it's a bit frustrating when people say you should not sell an online course for less than $2,000. You should if the audience doesn't pay $2,000. And, no, everything should be high end. Well, that's not true, because then every restaurant would be Ruth's Chris. And let's be honest, sometimes Taco Bell's really good, and sometimes you just want something off the dollar menu. I don't care how much money you have, and so, you can't be, not everything can be Taco Bell, not everything can be dollar menu, not everything can be Ruth's Chris, not everything can be Tesla. You got to have that mix. And so find whatever yours is and just embrace that 100%, like wholeheartedly. And find that niche within a niche within a niche. I always talk about niching down until it's painful. Right. Like it should hurt. That last niche, like, no, that one was okay. Ooh, that one kind of hurt. Like I didn't want to go, no, gotta go one more. Oh, really? Like I'm only doing that. And like me, really, it's all just affiliate marketing. And I talk about some other stuff, but my niche it all ties back to affiliate marketing. And so, every time I've branched outside of that niche, it hasn't gone particularly well. So find that niche within a niche within a niche, and just be the expert at that. Don't try to compete with the other people who are in this part of the niche or this part of the niche. Don't be the funnel guy. Russell Brunson's got that cornered. Don't be the product launch guy. Jeff Walker, we're good. Don't be the membership guy. You got Stu McLaren there, right? Don't be the mastermind guy. That's Tony and Dean. Be whatever your thing is, guy. And like within that, find that little pocket and just go all in with that, bud.
Right. Yeah. Comparing yourself to people like that, that could get discouraging. Yeah. So yeah, I decided I'm going to do something local. And I joined a group. I met a guy a couple of years ago that's all he does. He makes his living off of doing, helping businesses locally. And started to do some freelance stuff for him. And so I think I'm gonna go that direction. But I have some other skills that you just pick up, right? You pick up a little bit of copywriting, you pick up some email marketing, you pick up some things along the way. And I'm better, I found, at some of the techie stuff than I am around the SEO stuff. So I'm going to find people to farm that business out to and maybe make some partnerships that way.
That's awesome. And I talked to the guy the other day. His entire niche is teaching computer skills to like 70 plus, to basic people over 70, who don't have the computer skills that they need now that they're in that stage of life, and he teaches them how to use computers. I mean, we're like, the reality is a very small percentage of the population is over 70. And very small percentage of the population doesn't have computer skills on some basic level these days. This is not 20 years ago, but he has cornered that market. And he's running a pretty successful mid six figure, about $500,000 a year business, just doing that, selling, and all of his products are under $50. So if he can do it, then anybody can do it. It's kind of the way I look at it. But he found that niche. That's who he's passionate about. That's who he is. I think he's 74, 75 years old now. And he coaches people who were where he was, 5 years ago, which is ultimately typically who we are, teaching this stuff. So, well, good luck, bud. I can't wait to see what you do. Keep in touch and let me know how it goes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate it, bud. Thank you so much for listening today. Remember to check out all of our deep dives into affiliate marketing at theaffiliateguy.tv. And if you have a question, you can ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Who knows? Might end up being featured on this podcast.